Okay, back again with a couple of tables of 10 and L Zoom. Another session. 3.5x under the gun, ace queen of clubs in the small. I think this is just going to have to be a fold. Ace king of clubs, I think I can just bang it in. Ace queen, I think, is a bit too weak. Ace six and jacks. Okay, I think we can. Let's put a little mark on that guy. His ace six offsuit there. That is strange play. And I think we'll go for a 3-bet here with the queen jack. Excuse me. Okay, with ace king here out of position, go to 11. So I played a bit today. I played some full ring 10 and L cash, which started badly and then went much better. So I think I was up for the day. And I played some 10 and L Zoom earlier, which didn't go very well. And I played some spin and goes, which went well, which seems to be the pattern. Maybe I should just stick to spin and goes. That's where I seem to be doing quite well. Fives here on the button. I think that's just a call. It was queens against kings. I had 10 and L Zoom earlier to lose a buy. And in fact, I lost a bit more than the buying because I'd won some chips and then got queens and ran them into kings and dusted off. Well, as flops go for pocket fives, that's quite good. I won't talk it up, but I think even I might win this hand. But we desperately need someone to hit something. Okay, and we'll just call with our fives. Pocket tens here. I think we will just be calling. And getting an overpair, so we'll just be checking. And I have no idea what's going on over here. We'll just call with our tens. And we're just going to call with the fives. I think we have to call one more with the tens and then probably fold river. And over here, I think it's just optimistic on the left to think anyone's doing this without an overpair. If he can blast off here with just ace king, I think we just have to say nice hand. And he does. Okay, well, obviously we're going to win this. I should have made this a different size because now he can't re-raise back. Yeah, I think there. I don't know. Mistake I clearly made there was betting that particular size because then I couldn't raise back. So I think we made a slight error there with sizing. But yeah, we won a nice hand, and I don't know if he'd have gone for all the rest of it there with aces. Could we have bet the turn? Did we make enough chips? We won a hand. Let's leave it at that. But I want to try and maximise when I actually do have a strong hand. I'm not sure I did that. Okay, with queens here, he quickly checks back the turn. I think we can check and just try and win in the showdown. He bets 3 again. We've got a call. Queen 5. Okay. And a nice flop for our I'll have a look at that pocket fives hand in a minute and just see, because I think it feels like maybe I left some chips out on the table, but I haven't actually looked yet to see what the guy with not that many chips had. I think we just want to keep betting here. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. I just don't think anyone is going to raise with worse. I'm going to call here with ace three diamonds. It feels so pathetic to fold this. And maybe if I'm going to fold, I shouldn't even be betting the turn. It's stupid, really, but the problem I've got is I haven't seen lately anybody raising in those spots with a worse hand. It's queen 10 or a set, and I'm in such hideous shape. But maybe I've got to start checking back the turn. This ace 3 here feels like we're probably just being milked by a better ace. Could we be splitting the pot? I guess we have to call. Ace queen, yeah. So my instincts are sort of right when I call there. So I think my instincts with the ace queen are right, which means that I probably should start in those spots checking back the turn to avoid the check raise, because it's so dumb to have top pair top kicker and end up throwing my hand away against the check raise. Incidentally, the guy with not many chips in the pocket fives hand had pocket sevens, so there you go. I should have bet a different size, and then that would have allowed me to raise back on the river. Whether aces would have called, I don't know. Like the ace queen hand, if people knew that's what I was doing, then you're just going to everyone's going to check raise you at basically every chance they get, because they know that you're going to fold everything but the nuts. The problem I've had is that lately, whenever I've dug my heels in and called, I just seem to look at a set each time. So it's exploitative, I suppose, but I think it's probably the right play. But it seems like it takes quads for me to win a hand. And the tens hand on the left hand table earlier, I think if you just check call three times there against a guy who three betting under the gun raiser with tens, it's optimistic. I think a lot of people won't fire three times with ace king in that spot, so I think it's probably the right fold, but it feels frustrating again. Okay, are we going to get any action with our bullets? Doesn't look like we are. No, always welcome, isn't it? A nice little walk with our aces. It's all gone a bit quiet. We'll play the usual. We'll play about 300 hands. Seems to make the videos reasonable length. Oops. Pocket fours, it's sort of borderline, I think, raising these small pairs from early position. But I think people are tight enough where there's a lot of people folding pre-flop where it does make sense. And we'll go for 3-bet here with ace queen. And king 10 of clubs certainly will be calling. If we had like a proper stack, if I topped up, I might even think this is hand to squeeze with. But we flop a king high flush. Okay, we get a small bet and a call, so I think we do want to start raising. Yeah, I think this is a fine size. Get called, and we get a really, really shitty turn card, so we will. I think we'll just go ahead and check. And hoping he has jacks with the jack of clubs. I guess we have to call, but yeah, oh my god. Oh boy. He flopped it. We actually did well. I mean, if he plays his hand fast. I nearly said it on the flop, although I didn't want to whinge excessively, that whenever I flop a king high flush, I know that that just means someone else has an ace high flush, but I didn't say it, but that is exactly what happened. Oh dear. We'll check back these sevens. Don't think we're going to fold though. Sorry, check back. We'll check. He can have weaker pairs. I mean, he can also have an 8, like 8-9. We could have just a flush draw. Getting milked again, I think. Is he ever bluffing? But what's he got really for this size? Is it just like a hand like 9-8? Could he be betting fours or sixes for really thin value? King Jack. It's just a total bluff. For a small size, it's kind of weird for such a small size. Okay. We'll raise. And he calls quickly. And we get a what should be a reasonable flop. I'm just going to go small with range on this board. We get a fold. Bit disappointing. I was hoping he had ace queen. Glad he didn't have ace jack. Ace nine off. We'll just get rid of it. Raise that with queen 10. And we'll go for a check back with something slightly different. And now on this board, I think we're going to go for a large bet. It's double. I could even go for an overbet actually on that card. I want to go big here. I think I want to really polarize. Okay, now jacks. I get a very large 3-bet here. I think in position here we'll take a flop. And yeah, one of those flops. And I do think we want to raise. Yes, he can have ace, king, queens, but he can also have like kings and aces. And shoving all in. I'm going to be frustrated if I'm up against ace, king here. And I'm up against ace, king. Well, we ran it. In fact, if we'd run it once, we'd have won the whole thing. But oh, okay, look, we got lucky and we've impaired the board. But yet again, our opponents, the flop comes queen, jack, 10. Now, ace, king's obviously a possibility. But can't he have anything else? It feels like earlier, king, 10 of clubs against the ace, 3 of clubs on that board. It feels a little bit unfair. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to refrain from excessive whinging. Okay, so top kicker over here. We'll go for a call. Bad turn card. I think we'll just call here with a nut flush draw. And a very bad run out with ace jack. We're just going to check and hope that we're good. I don't think we are if he bets. Queen 10, of course. Okay, we're hoping for the 10 of hearts, please. No. It doesn't feel like at the moment, and for quite a while, anything's quite going right. As everything feels like it just doesn't quite go for us. But I'm sure we all feel like that when we play poker. And the ace jack hand, I certainly could have check raised that flop, would be fine. But I think check calling is also okay. I don't think it's like a terrible play. All right, well, we're very, very deep against this guy. So quad tens? Quad tens? Anybody? No, no, just not a good board. And he checks back. He checks back. I think it's very likely that we're up against kings or queens. Could be up against king, queen. I think we'll just go for a small blocking bet here. And now the question is whether we want to try to bluff him off hands like kings or jacks with no spade. I guess that's what we'll try and do. I don't think we need to go huge if we want to do that. I think half pot would get that done if that's what he's got. We get snapped off by queen 10 offsuit with the 10 of spades. Can anybody tell me what the fuck I'm doing? I think I'm trying to read people's hands, and yet I just end up talking total shit. People have ludicrous crap that I don't think they should ever have. Queen 10 offsuit? What the fuck's he doing? I guess we have an easy call here with Queen Jack. Board's just getting pretty ugly though. And I guess we do check this back. Hope for a nice safe river. Oh, cool with ace-8. I'm just going to check. I don't think I'm necessarily going to call by worse. Ace-8. And we'll go for a bluff. Go for a big bet bluff. I'm just going to fold ace-jack. How often is he actually going to have a jack in the spot? Probably not that often. We're going to fire again. And as usual, I just don't know what I'm doing. But I don't think he'll have a jack that much. But if he has stuff like 8s or 7s or 10s or queens or any of this sort of stuff, is he just going to check call me down? Clubs also get there. I'm just done with blasting off. 6-7. Would he fold it? I don't know. I just have to stop bluffing because it just doesn't work. Session got off to a good start. Has just sort of gone down the pan with a mixture, I guess, of questionable plays. And 6s are always going to fold. This doesn't feel like much is going well, but we'll persevere with 10 and L zoom and hope that things do eventually turn around. We'll go for a third pot on here. So once the session's over, I'll have a look back in Poker Tracker at some of my hands and see what I think of my play in certain spots. And the ace-8 there might have been unnecessary. And with a weak ace on the left, I will check back. And just go cool, cool. When he goes kind of big, but we certainly can't play it the way we have and not call. Ace-9. Fucking hell. So I think we were up nearly a buy-in and we've dusted most of it off, if not all of it. We're back to about level. So we'll play 200 hands. I can feel myself getting very sort of frustrated by the way things are going. Things don't seem to be quite working at the moment. And I do have a tendency to get a bit irritated when I play this, since it's not, well, I played so far, it's not really worked out that well. So I won't play for too much longer. Then we'll flop a set. He immediately checks back. And we'll fold the queen jack. I think we'll go for a check call and then check raise on the river. I think we're just going to go for the whole lot here. Don't see any reason to do anything else. If we were going to bluff, which we rarely would, this is how we want to do it. And I can stop whinging. Maybe we can play a little bit longer now. Yeah. So that one worked out perfectly. So I do have to stop complaining too much. See, on the right, I'm so tempted to raise just to try and get him to fold certain hands where representing an 8, because I think we have more than he does, but I'm going to refrain. I'm going to control myself. Here, against a guy who's leading from, I think we have to call, but I'm obviously not too happy about it with no real kicker. We certainly can have hearts. I think we have to call one more and then probably fold most rivers. That should slow him down if he doesn't have hearts. And if he does, he's just got there. Bets again. The guy just calls from the small blind and then fires out 3 times. Is he ever going to do it with worse than ace-7? Or does he ever turn up here with like just king-10 of spades or something? I just don't think often enough. So there's a spot where I think I've got to start thinking about it a bit more, because we lose to the 12, 13 big blinds, and it doesn't feel like anything I did there was like terrible, but we still lost. And I'm just wondering if the best thing to do would just be just don't open it, or call river. Maybe people are bluffing a little bit more than I think. All right, well, we'll go for a larger sizing on this board. I think we have far more overpairs than he does. And this should be a board which really doesn't help either one of us. He does call. Do I want to just keep firing off? I did say that it's sort of not really working at the moment when I'm doing this, because I still think I'm right that I have a lot more of the overpairs than he does. He can have some sixes, he can have pocket sevens, he can have some of this ball. We do have an open ender now, so we'll check it back. And we do get there. Why this guy's taken so long. Well, we're going to have to bet. I think we want to bet reasonably big. If we get check jammed on, though, we probably will have to fold, but yeah, he's going to. I'm assuming he has something like nines or tens. So I think we will have actually there got pretty lucky. What did he have? He had nines, so we had did have that hand. Okay, I'm going to three bet these queens. Whoops, meant to go to 6. Doesn't really matter. He's only got 16 big blinds, so I'm pretty sure he's just going to be putting his chips in. And we'll call here with Queen Jack of Spades. Well, for that stack size, I guess I got a call. Ace-7 off. Very nice play, mate. And we did get lucky the previous hand with the Ace-4. So, oh, is that a queen? Is that a queen? It is a queen. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a fucking queen for booklet time. All right. See, my mood seems to have picked up somewhat. I can't imagine why. This is something I probably do have to stop. Just getting so sort of my mood dominated too much by what's happening. Okay, so let's think about this. He raises the flop. He checks back the flop. He checks back the turn. Raises river. Now, pocket fives. I think most things just bet the turn, don't they? So this looks. I'm going to call it. It looks bluffy, but I guess we probably lose to something. 6-3 off. Okay, so there is a bit more bluffing than we think. That just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And we could 4-bet with this King Jack because we are very deep. But I think I'll take a hand off. Compose myself. In all seriousness, though, in terms of getting slightly emotional during sessions, that's something that's always been a problem for me. Just the frustration of when things aren't going right, which often in poker is going to be quite a lot. And with cash games in particular, I don't know why cash games in particular, it's always been something that's I got really frustrated when things aren't going well. Ace deuce of diamonds, slightly loose open, I think. Possibly a hand we could afford to start folding. I think I'm going to have to look at some of the hands I open. And I think I'm just going to c-bet with range for a third. Quickly call. He certainly can be good here. He calls so fast. When people call really quickly, I often think there's a very good chance that they've got like a one heart hand. He quickly checks back, and yeah, not the river we were hoping for. We're going to check now and give up. Yeah. If I'm right though with what I said, maybe a big bet on the turn is actually the play. Maybe that would have been the play that would have made the most sense. If I think people are quickly calling with like, ace jack with a heart. Okay, ace ten offsuit here. It's just a really big three bet. I'm just going to let it go. And king five of spades was certainly a fine call. I think pre-flop we're going to be calling. No stats on this guy at all. I think we certainly have to call one more. There's plenty of hands that he can be betting that we can beat. Hearts, ace queen, ace jack, all those types of hands. Not really the flop. I'm going to check raise these sevens. Yeah, really crappy run out, and yeah, going to fold. Again, another spot where I've sort of dribbled chips away, where I don't think I've necessarily done too much wrong, but maybe the pre-flop call maybe could start folding. Just reduce the variance a bit. These are the types of situations with ace jack where I'm starting to get a little bit tighter. And like ace eight on the button, I think really isn't open if it folds to us. It's just for me looking to clog there's plenty of leaks in my game, I know that. Just looking to really stop doing too many of those just dribbling away 10, 15 big blind kind of spots where I feel like it may be a little bit unnecessary, because if you do that too much, your stack's going to you just dribble away. I think three bet with reasonable frequency. I think here we are going to see, this is another kind of spot where often we're going to call, miss the flop, and check fold. I think for this size, that's not even three times my raise, so I will have to call. And fives will defend. I'm going to go for a different play here. I'm going to lead. And sevens, on this occasion, rather than dribble chips, so I'm going to check fold, and I'm going to bet again with the fives. So I get floated a lot on the flop. Yeah. With the sevens, again, another seven big blinds go. Don't feel like what I did was terrible. Could even check call the flop. Like 3-9-5 is really not a bad flop. I just don't want to. Then it makes you feel, well, should you call pre-flop? If you're going to check fold a pretty reasonable board, is it a hand that you should even be calling 3-bet in the first place? Arguably, no. I think like these two, again, these two opens here, slightly suspect. We'll have to start tightening up, I think, getting 3-bet too much, and we'll have to start adding in a few 4-bets into my game if I'm gonna open as frequently as I am, because otherwise I think I'm just gonna wait for a slightly better spot to open. Yeah, I don't really want to bet my king nine here. I think we're just going to get check called down far too often, so we're just going to give up jack three. Okay, so we do win. I don't know what jack three is doing. That's nice to win the hand. Again, ace ten offsuit. I think again just going to slightly tighten myself up from early position. Check with the 10-4 diamonds. And we do get there, so I think we'll bet half pot. And we'll do here, raise it with the ace king. Button against small blind. This will be a hand where if he four bets, we will go with it. Right, so I think we're going to have to work in some four bet bluffs. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so I think here, yeah, we'll go for it. Well, that's already been a disaster. I mean, let's get a miracle flop, can we? Houston, we got a fucking problem, and we got another problem here. Do we just get jammed on here all the time? We've got a jacks, it kind of blocks jacks. Queens is quite a likely hand. Kings is a likely hand. Question is whether we go for it, whether we just give up. You can have ace king. I think we'll go for one bet and then give up when we get jammed on, obviously. Yep. It doesn't matter what I fucking do, it fails. If I get more aggressive, it fails. If I get more passive, I dribble away. What I do just doesn't fucking work. How can they always do this? Why doesn't anyone ever just have ace king in this spot and fold? Oh well, we went for it, it didn't work. And I meant to, and then more. I don't know. I don't know. Was that just shit? I don't think it is shit. It just does for some reason when we do that kind of thing, it never seems to pan out. God. And yeah, all right. So we'll sit out next big blind. An entertaining session. Ultimately, a slightly, I don't know, slightly disappointing almost. We were up nearly a buy-in. We'll go for a C bet here and fire off some more chips. Okay. All right. So what are we up? Not very much in the end. 21.62. Oh, sorry, about $1.60. Okay, not too bad. Haven't been up a buy-in. Some interesting hands there. So what did we have? We had the pocket fives where we flopped quads. I don't know if I got the max with that. Jacks versus the ace king where we flopped a set, he flopped a straight. We ran it twice. We won the first one, lost the second one. We had the king high flush against the ace high flush on the left. And then we had that bold bluff with the ace jack that didn't work out. Perhaps I should just go back to just folding pre-flop with that hand. I don't know, but maybe I'm being harsh on myself. Maybe he just had pocket queens and it didn't work out for us. So I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of a fun session, I think. And if anyone's still watching, as I say, I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.